Have you ever had a program that's actually selling, but somehow your life feels harder than it did before you launched it? Like your calendar's packed, your community needs something all the time, constantly. Marketing never really turns off. And you're sitting there thinking, wasn't this supposed to be easier? Or at least get easier? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you the simple systems map that explains exactly why this is happening and how to fix it without rebuilding your entire business. If you're new here, I'm Jasmine Jonte, and I help experts turn their knowledge into courses and programs that actually support their lives, not consume them. And this video is specifically for the creator who has already crossed that first big milestone. Your program sells, it gets people results, money comes in, and somehow you are more tired than ever. Here's what most people assume when this happens. They think, I need to be more organized. I need better client boundaries. I need to be more disciplined. But let me be very clear, like this is not a motivation problem, it's a systems problem. And what most creators actually built is not a business. Like they built a product that still depends entirely on them. So when your community feels reactive or draining, you're like the go-to person for every question. Marketing requires your constant never-ending presence. Delivery falls apart if you step away. Like, that's not because your course is bad or your program is bad. It's because it grew faster than your systems did. And when that happens, the program starts running you because now you got to keep up with this delivery race. So let me show you what is actually missing. In a word, systems. The repeatable ways that work gets done. So it's not a tool, it's not people. And at the highest level, every expert business runs on 3 core systems, whether you've designed them intentionally or not. We have marketing systems, sales systems, and delivery systems. And if one of these buckets feels heavy, it's not because you need more effort, but it's because one of those systems is underbuilt or not at all. So system number 1, marketing. This is how people find you, how demand is created, how interest builds without you having to show up every single day. And if marketing only works when you're actively posting, pitching, performing, that's not a system. That's a dependency. Now, some marketing systems in my business include a lead magnet funnel system, YouTube repurposing system, masterclass launch system, all systems that we have internal processes for that I don't have to run, at least not every single part of, and we get the result. System 2, sales. This is how people decide, how they buy, and how often are you required in the decision. And if every sale requires a DM conversation, a call with you, or personal convincing, then business is pretty heady. Some sales systems in my business include a services guide funnel system, a discovery call booking system, a checkout page development system. I will say that right now, this is the part of my business that does feel the heaviest because it requires a conversation with moi to actually have someone decide and say yes. So, though I have other sales systems that support me and reduce the impact needed on those calls, it's still a call with me, but should be changing soon. Stick around. System number 3, delivery. So this is how results are delivered, how support happens, how transformation occurs without you being everywhere at once. And if your students only succeed when you're constantly present, available, reacting to them, that's not scalable. It's not sustainable either. And here's the key thing to understand. If any one of these systems relies entirely on you, the business will always feel hard, no matter how much money it makes. Now, some of the delivery systems in my business include an onboarding system, accountability system, a lesson building system. I could go on and on and on because out of all the systems I built, that is the department I actually do the least in. Now, once you see the systems, the org chart becomes obvious. I want to say this very clearly before I show it. This is not a hiring plan. This is not a responsibility map. What are all the responsibilities in your business inside of marketing, sales, and delivery departments? Like who's accountable on each of them? Now, the undercurrent beneath these departments is operations, which handles systems development. So let me show you what I mean. Welcome to my org chart. Now, I'm not going to go into the nitty gritty of each and every role and person on my team. However, you can see here that I have me at the top and then I have my departments. I've got marketing, I've got sales, I've got fulfillment, which is the same as delivery, and then we've got ops. And I do think of ops as almost this underlying element of all of these things because if I zoom in here to YouTube repurposing, since that's what I'm doing right now, Rebecca on our team is in charge of making sure the YouTube repurposing happens and things get posted and it's all quality control, all that stuff. Well, she needs a system to run to do that YouTube repurposing. Now, sometimes you can hire vendors and team that bring that system themselves. That's often the perk of hiring like an agency or someone fractional is they often bring the system with them. But the challenge is a lot of times if you're just hiring someone, they're expecting you to provide the system. And in the case with YouTube repurposing, I did. So we took I spent some time in ops, developed the system to create the playbook that now she runs, even though she's in under this marketing department. Okay, so that's how I look at things. And I should mention, I got a lot of this I learned from the book Traction by Gino Wickman. Highly, highly recommend. So I've got marketing, sales, delivery, and ops, which again, I kind of think is like a underpinning. Now, in my last video, I I mentioned that sales is the biggest constraint in my business right now. And now looking at my org chart, you can probably see why, right? Like, look, sales, there's no COO in place and there's no enrollment specialist in place. So, guess whose name is actually on those right now? Yeah, your girl, Jasmine, right here. So, I think it just helps you see who are all the people you could have on your team in the future. I like to think of the org chart as like a year out, each of these will be filled. And so, we have some people onboarding in different places, and then there's a few X's that we're working like we're filling this right now. And others of these I have conversations, but it's probably like a Q2, Q3 initiative to bring on something like a COO. So I just think it's really helpful. I will say too, if you're like an agency owner or you have team, I like to break that down by offers. It just works easier for us to know like, okay, who's in delivery on each of the offers. And out of all of, another way to look at this is sales is my constraint. Well, I have system, but I don't have team there. But fulfillment delivery, I do very little of. And you can see we have the biggest team there, and I have really crazy, awesome, insane, incredible systems built out so that I'm not on any of these I'm not doing video directing or editing or CMO work or junior account manager work because I've got people and systems there in place to do that. So hope that helps. Back to the real thing. Now, if you're like my most successful clients, then you may be having this realization right now. You're not overwhelmed because you're bad at business. You're overwhelmed because you're doing like 4, 5, 10 different jobs at one time. And the moment something grows, your audience, your enrollment, your community, the pressure multiplies because everything still roots back to you. And this is why success can feel heavy and a struggle. Now, here's the part people don't want to hear. Better time management won't fix a structural problem. More content won't create capacity. Just doing another launch won't solve your delivery strain. Working harder only makes an unsustainable system louder. And sustainability in your business isn't built by doing more. It's by designing systems, those super unsexy systems that carry the weight for you. But the good news is you don't need a massive team and you don't need to burn everything down. You just need clarity on what the next step to build is and then go get after it. The easiest way to get started is simply get out a piece of paper and map out your org chart. Now, you can do it in Miro like I did if you want to get fancy, but just sit down and plot it out. And if you have questions, please share it in a comment. I do reply to every single one. And if this video has been helpful, then please like and subscribe. That's it for now, and I'll see you in the next one.